This is the presentation for reading strategies for basic. The first strategy is previewing. The purpose of this strategy is to preview what is the text about or the reading about. How works tap into what we already know, and that will help us to understand the text that we are about to read. We can practice on the daily reading newspaper, magazine, or social network. How to improve is reading a page of a book, the previous line and then the last line of the page, so we can have a initial idea about what is the text about. And how to apply for TOEIC is simple. If the reading have a title, we can read the title to understand what it's about. Most of the time it can be about a restaurant, an email, or a bill. The second is identify the main idea. And the purpose of this technique is students determine what is important and then put it into their own words. How this strategy works is simple. The process is trying to understand the author purpose in writing the text, and we can practice checking words that are related with the title and reading the first and the second line to identify is the language or is polite or not. Then, how to improve this strategy is simple, making two questions: what I know and what I want to know. Then, how to apply in TOEIC test is make a very fast check of the question to know in a previous manner what you need to know to have a better idea about what we are looking for. The third technique is making inferences. The purpose is infer about something that is not explicitly stated in the text. How the strategy works is pairing knowledge and recognizing clues. Clues are important to know about things that are not in the reading. How to practice in daily. When we read a newspaper or poem or fairytale, we can infer information about what we know and what we don't. Because most of the time, for some characters, the readings used to don't say about the rest of the characters in the stories. Then how to improve, use the clues in the text along with their own experiences to help the reader figure out what is not directly said, making the text personal and memorable. Most of the time, this question includes logical thinking, because we have to analyze what is happening, what will happen in the future, what was the result about. Most of the time, the reading did not say that, and so we have to think by logic. How to apply for TOEIC. We will make inferences in the question about what is the text and what is hide. Read the text and think about what we know and what we must find in the text or infer by the text. The strategy number 4 is metacognition. The purpose is think about and have control over your reading. Before reading, we might clarify our purpose for reading and preview the text. How works this strategy? Most of the time, the people say that is think about think. That is monitor or understanding the reading speed to fix the difficulty or the text and fixing any comprehension problems that we have. Most of the time we have to check about what we know about what we want to know. How to improve this strategy? Making us some questions about the reading and thinking how the information that we know matches with the previous information to avoid problems in comprehension, and look forward in the text for information that might help to resolve the difficulty or answer the questions. And how to apply for TOEIC is identify where the difficulty occurs, identify what the difficulty is, and restate the difficulty sentence or passage in their own words. So we have to think in simple words, not exactly in what the reading said. The last technique is providing the reader with a renewing version of reader in general. How this strategy works? Simple. Determine the number of words per line that we can read. So if we read between 350 to 400 words per minute, we are in an optimum shape. Or we can practice, it's simple, we can practice all the time reading everything around, for example a book, newspaper, magazine, Facebook, chats, many things. Then how to improve? Simple. Set the time in 1 minute, use your finger to speed up the process of mark where are you reading. When we alarm goes of make a mark. Every time try to use less time to read the same amount of words. How to apply for TOEIC? We have to read more than 300 words per minute. We can try using different type of reading, for example text related to restaurant, news, newspaper, bills, weather reports, and a 3-paragraph text should be read in 1 minute or less.
Scanning. Make that people search for keywords in a fast way. It works with specific words, like dates, words, names, numbers, etc. Like in the example. The question 148 said, "When will the store be closed?" is asking for a specific date. Skimming. In so long text looks for the first and the last paragraph. In that way, students can have a complete idea based on that lines. It's useful to read long texts when we don't have time. It could be better if the texts are more than 2 pages. Also read the middle of the complete text. In the TOEIC exam, we can find long text. Currently, the largest that you can find, it's a half of a page. Most of the times are letters, and the questions ask people that send the letter and who received the letter. Summarizing. If we read it, the complete text, and you still have time in the TOEIC exam, and you are answering the question and don't remember an important fact, try to express in your mind the most important facts or ideas about something in a short and clear way. But if you really don't remember, it's better if you come back to the text and scan the word or the idea that is missing. Identifying supporting details. In this strategy, it's better if you read the questions first to find the answers. It's helpful to search in the text the main details that the answer is required. In a daily way, we use it for reading the newspaper when we don't want to read the complete article, and we just search the details that are important. For example, if we want to buy something in Wish, we look for the product, and then the first thing that we have to search is the price of that product. And currently it works in the same way in the TOEIC exam, because we search things or details that we think that are important. Finding supporting evidence for the main idea. We can say that usually it is in the first sentence, but the next most common placement is in the last sentence of a paragraph. The main purpose of this strategy is made that the students omit things that they don't need. Unconsciously, most of the time we practice this strategy when we are reading a magazine. If we read the first line and it is something that we know what it's about, we stop reading and pass the page. And actually we can say that in the TOEIC exam we use it in short articles, because you don't need to read too much for search the answer.